So today is the first day of the year 2020 and coincidentally my last day with this amazing Suzuki Gixxer SF 250. I would like to thank the Dolphin Suzuki dealership in Andheri for giving me this opportunity and making my Christmas of 2019 a memorable one and for this awesome start to the year 2020. So this bike is my first step towards my Himalayan trip. I've been planning this for years now. So it's not like I have no other place to go in this world. It's just that I would like to explore the glistening snow-clad mountains, the green and brown valleys, the white rivers, the scenic beauty from the top of the world, the cold and dry climate of the vast plains of Leh and Ladakh, which reminds you of some post-apocalyptic scenario, right? The slippery, icy roads or the sludge that inadvertently teaches you a thing or two in off-roading, even if you're not up to it. And of course, the suffocating altitudes. Now, the bike that I have here is powered by a 250cc single cylinder 4 stroke 4 valve oil cooled fuel injected engine that delivers a max power of 26.5 HP and a max torque of 26.6 Newton meter. So, this 22.6 Newton meter of torque is delivered through a 6-speed transmission setup. Well, it's not the king of the segment, but it sure does make me feel like one on the road. Thanks to the looks, you can see it. Now, the engine has a good mid range, which allows me to putter around the city traffic at 40 to 50 km per hour on the fourth or even the fifth gear, while the engine makes absolutely no fuss about it. It's like a Japanese samurai. The engine remains cool and composed at every conditions. Now, although I have clocked a top speed of 140 kph on this bike, it was a bit of a strenuous effort. So, this baby Gixxer likes to hover around the 120 km per hour mark. Now, the important question, does this bike have the caliber to take me to the Himalayas? Well, yes, of course. As the saying goes, riding a bike is all about the passion, the grit, and the skill in the rider. I, however, am spoiled by choices here. I have to choose a bike in the budget of rupees 3 lakh that could cruise comfortably at 100 km per hour for hours, only a 1 month holiday allotted, could cross 300 kilometers in one full tank, rupees 1 lakh budget allotted, would not cost me a bomb in the event of a mishap, no budget allotted there, and would make my daily urban commutes a sporting event, thus giving a sense of purpose to my life. So, my first option, the Suzuki Gixxer SF 250 with the BS6 engine, cost around rupees 2.10 lakh, 2.10 lakh on road in Mumbai. Now, I got the budget part right. Second, it has a 12-liter tank capacity and is reported to have a mileage of around 35 km per liter. Now, I personally experience a range of 35 to 40 km per liter from urban and highway commutes. So, at 35 km per liter, I would easily get a range of 420 kilometers on a full tank. So even in the event of a high altitude power drop, like at Khardungla or let's say Rohtang Pass, I could easily get around 150 kilometer range from 5 liters. Then it is Suzuki. With an average service cost of around rupees 3000 to 4000 rupees, I would say it's okay to shell a day's salary on this beast. Now, this beast is for the past 10 days, I can say, while it was with me, it did not fail to garner a second look from people of all ages and region and class. I mean, the matte black treatment with a well chiseled fairing did give me an aura of a rich macho man riding a swanky, expensive, exclusive bike. God, I'm going to miss those glances. Yes, this is an awesome bike and totally worth the rupees 2 lakhs that you're paying. The only chink in its armor, though, or the drawback, were the rear brakes. Maybe it was due to some fault with this test bike that I had, which had already been put through some rigorous tests by other reviewers. The rear brakes were considerably insufficient. In many instances, even though I had slammed on the rear brakes and slightly grabbed the front brakes, there were moments when the rear tire would slightly lift off. Once, while I was going through a corner, I had applied the front brakes, and when I subsequently applied the rear brakes, the bike slightly wobbled, something I was not expecting with an active ABS system. I'm sure with some fresh new tires or maybe some readjustments in the ABS control units, this issue could be resolved. So before I take the Suzuki Gixxer SF 250 to the Himalayas, I would like to first change its windshield or whatever it is. I don't know what this thing is there for. I believe just for the styling purpose. But there is hardly any protection from the wind blast. The the 6-speed gearbox that this bike has is butter smooth and aptly set for this urban sports commuter, which made this 161 kg bike feel like a as light as a feather on all those top go traffic. Now, although the forward leaning track focus posture it's not that aggressive as the KTM's or the KTM's, but still it does get on to your wrists and shoulders in about half an hour or so. Now, thanks to the Suzuki Gixxer, I took some of the longest routes possible just so that I could avoid the painful traffic as much as possible. I would like to convey my regards here to the municipal corporation of my city for giving me a chance to enjoy the SF250's off-road capabilities. The potholes, the sluts, the uneven bumps from patchworks all were well handled by its telescopic forks in the front and pre-adjustable monoshock suspension in the rear. I hopped around them in true blue Bollywood style slow motion on this 250cc fully fed sports bike. Now, like the engine, I totally remained cooled at all conditions. On a parting note, I dream of this engine in the chassis of a Hero Expulse 200. I mean, that would allow me to ride it with an upright posture and with a considerable wind protection. And in that sense, I am sure that I could easily ride this bike for 300 kilometers for 3 hours at a stretch. Hope my dream comes true. Take care, everyone, and God bless all. And enjoy the ride.